So look, report came out. Anonymous GM has the Banter 1, Wilson 2, Acuff 3. Uh, Real quick on Acuff. I had one GM tell me today he's been moved into the top 3. Peterson might be going back down a little. He saw AJ as the number 1, Wilson 2. He saw AJ as the number 1 as a number 1 as Oh, he saw AJ as number. He saw AJ as number 1, Wilson 2, not as a number 1. But he is a number 1. Um, but Yeah, I mean, when it comes to this, that's where I'm at with it. I don't believe, here's why I put Darren Peterson. Are you a team that's championship contending? This is gonna sound wild, but if you're the Hawks, if you're the Kings, let me think. Like these teams that are, I mean, you name them. These teams that are struggling, that are going to be up there for top picks, Mavs. You cannot risk missing on your pick. You just can't. You really can't because even if it works out for you, look at the Rockets. Look at the Rockets. If you miss out on them picks, bro, like they drafted Shengun. Shengun's been an all-star level dude, but he hasn't been what I think the Rockets wanted him to be, which is a number 2 next to Kevin Durant on a championship team. I guarantee Alperen Shengun ain't that, especially in the West. And then you look at Amen Thompson. Amen Thompson, like you look what he is. He can do everything for you, but he doesn't have a jump shot. So Amen Thompson, come playoff time, is going to be unplayable, pretty much. Is what it's going to be. So it's like even a team like the Rockets, who you could say had a successful year to an extent, like even them not hitting completely on 8 picks is messing them up because now they're like, okay, well, where do we go now? We had 2 young players that we drafted. Jabari Smith, the same thing. Like he's playing well. He's played well, but Tari Eason missing shots. Like all of them. And then Jabari Smith was number 3 pick. I mean, and he has not played to that level. Like all these guys were high picks, first round picks, and it's like they just happened. Imagine if the Rockets had gotten had hit on one of these dudes and been a real time big time star. We look at the Rockets completely differently. So it's like you got to hit on these picks to the full extent. It can't even just be a halfway thing, or else you're going to be like the Rockets. Like, what the hell do we do? We have all these young talent, and none of them panel out to be like exactly what probably we might thought they would have been, especially where we drafted some of these dudes. So that's the first thing. But these teams can't afford to miss. If you're the Wizards, honestly, the Wizards can afford to miss. And I know that sounds crazy, but y'all don't understand how good the Wizards are going to be next year. Y'all don't understand. So the Wizards can afford to miss, even though you wouldn't want to, though, because then you just want to build a super team. But these teams that are losing cannot afford to miss. So, like, why'd I take a guy first of all, if he can't stay healthy, we know that. And even when he is healthy, we don't even know if he wants to play. He talking about, oh, I'm sick. Get out of here, dude. So we don't, even when you are healthy, we're not even sure if you want to play. And then you look at him this year at the back end when he actually started playing games last couple of weeks, and he never looked like a superstar. I never like watching Dan Peterson, especially like at the end of that CB Cal Baptist game. It was like he literally was like it's like he didn't even care. It was just like he was just out there and like, oh, I hope we win. It's like, no, you need to go get the ball and go put the ball in the basket. Like when I see like reluctancy to try to go win a game, that's when I have big qualms about you. So that really concerned me. Um, but it's just the lack of inconsistency the whole season. We never got to see him play the whole season. So you can't play 35 to 40 games. I said this already months ago. You can't play 35 to 40 games in college or whatever, right around that number. But and then you're gonna go play 82. Oh, come on, man, stop. Plus playoffs. Oh, get out of here. Uh, your mentality isn't right. If I'm gonna have to go toe to toe with Cooper Flag, Nikola Jokic, SGA, Darius Acuff, AJ DeBansa, Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brown, Cade Cunningham, if these are the guys I'm gonna have to Trey Young, if these Okungpo, like, if these are the guys I'm gonna have to beat, then I need somebody that I know can go out there on be a number 1. It's gonna take a different mentality to beat those guys, and you gotta have a different mentality. And how can I trust you to beat those? These are great players, bro. First ballot, no doubt. How can I trust you to beat those guys if you don't? If you show me you gotta show me you have that mentality. And so it's like these teams at the top of the draft, they can't risk drafting a Darren Peterson. Darren Pierce needs to be drafted. Now, this is going to sound crazy, but he needs to be drafted by the Celtics, the Nuggets, the Thunder. Um, Let me think. Probably maybe like a Minnesota, maybe like an Orlando Magic, like one of those teams. A team that can afford like missing on a pick. Could afford like, hey, if he ends up panning out, or it's more like the talent is there, but like they can afford like to miss. Like, oh, okay, it didn't work out. Like we can afford that. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't really hurt us. But teams like the Wizards and or not the Wizards, but the some of the other teams at the top of the draft, like the Kings and the Mavs and these teams, they can't afford to miss on this pick, on these picks, especially high. So it's like that's kind of my point. And so I think Darren Peterson needs to be drafted by the contending teams or teams that are loaded and don't. It doesn't really matter what Darren Peterson. Well, it don't matter if he works out, but if it doesn't work out, it doesn't hurt them at the end of the day. It kill them. With the other teams, if Darren Peterson doesn't work out, it's gonna kill them. And he's gonna get people fired. So I'll say that too. But yeah, I totally agree. Uh, I have uh I have the same thing. I might have a cuff more closer to one than maybe a Wilson or a Debansa, but I agree. Caleb Wilson and like all these guys, like I agree. A cuff, Wilson, Debansa are about my top three. Peterson, like I said, when I mock draft him, I'll be mock drafting him to more contending teams. It won't be teams that are having high draft. It just doesn't make sense. Like your mentality isn't correct. Your body doesn't look like it's built for the NBA. Like I can afford if I have a job as a GM and my job relies on like you're gonna play a big part. If I'm drafting you, you only get so many picks as a GM, especially on these losing teams and so many guys. I gotta hit on these guys. If you don't work out, I'm screwed. So I ain't betting my job and my some these dudes are I know Darius Peterson wouldn't understand, but these dudes are families. So like when people make the this is feeding family, that ain't a joke. That's for real. People just getting their families fed because off every decision. So it's like it can sound like a joke, but there's truth in that for real. People are really getting their families fed off your decisions. And Derek Peterson may not understand that, but it's true, bro. So it's so yeah, that's kind of that's where I'm at with it with Derek Peterson and the whole thing. I mean, it is what it is. He is who he is as a player. Me personally, if I was him, honestly, I would go back to college, have a big time, change my mentality. I don't know. Maybe he's just that way. I don't. I mean, if you've been that way for your whole life, I don't know. But I would try to go change my mentality, go show I can play a full season, be dominant, and then go to the draft. Like that's what I would do, me personally. But he probably won't chasing money and a career. We'll see how it works out. And then next I want to talk about was this one. Teams are interested to offer LeBron 50 million annually in free agency. Per Ramon and Shelburne, the door is open for return to LA if he's going to take a pick. That's exactly correct. LeBron is not worth $50 million. He is not worth that. I think, and that's what people understand. Like the other day, yesterday versus Detroit. Oh, first time in his like third time ever in his career he scored 0 points at halftime because he's a role player now, bro. Like that's what you have to understand now. And it sounds crazy. I know he made the All Star game, but he's playing a role. Like I think he even said that when they asked him. He's like, yeah, it's just a role I'm playing. Like because he's a role player. Like it's literally what it is. Like he has to play a certain role. He's just not the star. He's not a star guy anymore. I mean, he's 40 or 41, right? So it's like you're just not that. I mean, like I said, all star, yes, but it's more like LeBron's thing is it just depends on how he's. I guess where he's at that night. I think some nights like versus Houston, you saw like he looked like a star, but then some nights it's gonna be okay. He may have 11, 12, 13, 15, 16 points. Like it's not gonna be. It's just gonna be him playing that role player role. And honestly, I wouldn't mind the Lakers moving off of him because, like, I think honestly, like the best thing for the Lakers is letting Luca. Here's what I think about the Lakers. And why honestly I think it's best that they move on from LeBron because if I'm them, we know it works. And you build it. The Rockets did it with James Harden, it worked. The Mavs did it with Luca, and it worked to an extent. Obviously, with both those teams, they both had their deficiencies. They ended up winning a champ. Neither one of those Rockets, James Harden Rockets team or Luca Mavs teams won the championship. But you get what I'm saying. To an extent, both were in the Western Conference Finals. One of them even made the finals. So I mean, everybody's taking that. So, but here's what I'm trying to get at. Luca obviously is your James Harden, and he's your Luca. Like he's a superstar guy. Boom, triple double, whatever, generational. Then Reeves is going to be your Chris Paul or your Kyrie Irving. He's a second option guy that can get 20 to 25 a night. Now Chris Paul was never that. I wouldn't say that guy was in Houston, but you get what I'm saying. That was more Kyrie. That was I compare Austin Reeves more of a Kyrie than a Chris Paul when it comes to a role where he's going to be a guy that gets you 20 to 25 a night, and I think he may be able to do more than that. I think Austin Reeves is an all star, dude. And you get that next to even the Kyrie that Luka had was a older Kyrie that was not had like it wasn't even like Reeves is going up, right? Like he has like his peak is cut like it's like and it may even be here. We just haven't been able to see it because of the LeBron and all that stuff. But Reeves is going up. Kyrie was kind of just okay. Like I'm starting, like you're getting older, and it's like okay, yeah, what I'm saying like Kyrie was really just like a fourth quarter guy. But he wasn't in his prime. You're getting a prime Reeves. Even Chris Paul or James Harden wasn't in his prime. It was an older. Same thing with Luka. Same thing Luka had with Kyrie was an older dude. Still All Star level, but older dude. Um, but you're gonna get a prime Reeves. Like even James Harden with the Rockets didn't have that. Luka with the Mavs didn't have that. So that's gonna be even really more interesting. This guy could be a 25 to 30 guy point per game guy at night. I'm gonna be real. He's a big time dude. He can hit big time shots, clutch, all that. Um, but I think you do that. So he plays that Kyrie role, and then I think what you need to remove LeBron, you need somebody to be that PJ Washington, that 3 and D guy who can still put and Najee Marshall type can still put the ball on the floor and get baskets, but can go defend the other team's best players or the other team's top offensive players. Can rebound, can help clean the glass, defend, can hit big time 3 point shots, and then still be able to put the ball on the floor, can cut and do all that kind of stuff and bring energy. Like that's what everybody remembers when PJ I remember all the Masters were so like that was when he was like this instead of the court like this with his hands crossed because it was more than just even what the stats showed. Like PJ Washington's value was like his mentality, like he brought it every single night. So like it's just like the team rally around him. They need that PJ Washington type. That's what you need. And everybody, if you watching that, he was massive on that team. Sadly, we never got to see him. Him and Najee with Luka would have been crazy. Those two were like the perfect fitness of Luka. Najee Marshall would be another one, and then you need to get a center. Somebody that can be there. I think they have their Daniel Gafford, which is Jackson Hayes. Guy who's really younger, but even though Gafford isn't the youngest, you get what I'm saying. He's still young. At least at the time when he was with the Mavs, he was still younger. When Luka was there, and he was athletic, could jump out the gym, was really, really good, quality backup, big option. But the Lakers need their Derek Lively. Who's this young big that we know we can pair with Luca and be that dominant guy. And that's what I'm looking for with the Mavs. So like that's how they kind of need to build this team. And I don't see LeBron like trying to make LeBron play the PJ Washington role is just not. I think that's gonna be the big problem with the Lakers have. Honestly, is like they need. It's just not. That's not what he's done. And so it's like it just makes more sense for them to move on and find somebody that can actually play that role. You know what I'm saying? And I think honestly, I haven't. So and so yeah, and then I think bro. I mean,